But what Greek philosophy could not come up with is, what is the answer for that? Why is there order and structure? And so what they came up with is that there's just this inanimate force, if you will. There's a force. So for you Star Wars nerds, there you go. There's a force that has so orchestrated everything to be. And John's saying, Jesus is that word. What you equate to be inanimate, what you equate to be in the ether, I'm saying that is Jesus. That is Jesus. Now for the Jews, this is twofold. Because as John is writing this, he has both Gentiles and Jews in mind. So how would Jews in the century that this was being written in the first century, how would Jews have understood this? Well, Jews would have understood the Logos as the Word of God. Genesis 1:3, and God said during creation. The psalmist writes in Psalm 33:6, by the word of Yahweh the heavens were made, and by the breath of his mouth all their host. Jesus is identified in Aramaic as Memra, as the Logos of God's divine active presence. So Jews would have been IDing the word Logos is God's self-expression in creation, in revelation, and in redemption. Think about all of the Old Testament. How did God reveal himself? How did anyone ever know that God existed? When God came to Abraham, God did what? He spoke to Abraham. He used his words to communicate to Abraham, saying, I am. God reveals himself in the Old Testament using the word. And so John is just so beautifully using this word logos that for the Greeks it was this stoic, if you will, philosophical understanding of reason and nature and how did everything come into being. He's saying it's Jesus.